This is why some people become defensive around you without reason. You've done nothing to offend them, but the spirit they entertain cannot coexist peacefully with the spirit within you. That's why chosen ones often end up misunderstood. People mislabel you as proud, intimidating, or aloof, when in truth, you've simply walked in with the quiet backing of an entire kingdom. Demons obey the unspoken commands written into your spirit by the one who sent you. And here's the part. Most won't tell you sometimes. This silent authority isn't flashy. You won't always see the manifestation with your eyes. The moment you step into a place, certain spirits are commanded to withdraw, to go silent, or to stop their work against the people present. It happens without you lifting a finger. You may think you're just ordering coffee, but in the spirit, you're breaking chains. You may think you're just walking to your seat in church, but in the spirit, demonic assignments are being cancelled. This is why, at times, you may notice an unusual stillness that follows you. That stillness is not emptiness, it's obedience. But this authority comes with weight. When demons obey you, they also notice you. They watch, they study, they strategize. Some will try to bait you into unnecessary conflict, hoping to provoke your flesh so that your spirit will quiet. They know they can't defeat you in open combat, so they seek to distract you into battles that don't matter. This is why chosen ones often feel like life is filled with strange, petty annoyances. It's not coincidence, it's diversion, and yet, what they fail to understand is that even their diversions serve the purpose of sharpening you. You learn patience, discernment, and the discipline of choosing which battles are worth fighting. You begin to realize that your authority isn't about proving you're right. It's about knowing when to simply walk through a door and let heaven do the talking. Because truthfully, most of the victories you've been given weren't won by your shouting, they were won by your stillness. Stillness doesn't mean passivity. It means confidence in the backing you carry. It means knowing that when you walk into your workplace, your home, your community, the kingdom you represent arrives with you. The same way a soldier doesn't have to explain his uniform to be recognized. As part of an army, you don't have to explain your spiritual authority to be recognized in the spirit. They know who you are. And more importantly, they know whose you are. Sometimes, this reality will isolate you further. Not because you're unlovable, but because the Spirit of God upon you exposes what's hidden in others. There are people who genuinely like you, but find themselves uneasy around you for reasons they can't name. That's because proximity to you stirs conviction, and conviction in someone not ready to change often feels like discomfort. That's why chosen ones often lose friends without clear explanations. The friendship didn't go wrong, it simply could not stand under the weight of light and truth. And then there are the silent victories you'll never know about this side of eternity. The day you decided to take a certain route home instead of another, unaware that your presence in that neighborhood caused certain demonic plans to scatter. The time you felt an unexplainable urge to sit with a stranger, and later found out they were contemplating ending their life. But something in you shifted their spirit. You may never get the thank you. You may never even hear the story. But in heaven's records, it's written that you intervened, and the darkness obeyed, without ever making a scene. The most dangerous chosen ones are the ones who have learned not to seek credit, because the less you crave recognition, the freer God is to move through you. When you're not looking for applause, you won't be tempted to announce every battle you've fought or every demon you've silenced. You'll simply keep walking, letting your very existence in alignment with God be the sword. And here's the paradox: those who never seek to be feared in the spirit, are often the ones most feared by the spirit realm. This is also why attacks against chosen ones are often strange and disproportionate. The enemy's goal is to shake your belief in your authority, to convince you that you're ordinary, powerless, or forgotten. But if you truly knew the number of times the darkness has already bowed in your presence without your awareness, you'd never doubt again. The truth is, most of your battles have been won before they even reached you. You've been walking under covering so thick that many storms died at the border of your life. The key now is to remain in that alignment. Authority without alignment is like a sword without a wielder, powerful but useless. Staying in prayer, keeping your spirit clean from bitterness, walking in obedience, these are not just good Christian habits, they are the oil that keeps your authority sharp. They ensure that when you walk into a space, the silence you carry still sends shockwaves into the unseen. And never forget, your authority is not in the volume of your words, but in the truth of your life. You can shout all you want, but if your spirit isn't aligned, the enemy will call your bluff. But if your life is surrendered, you can whisper a single word and watch walls crumble. That's the harsh, sacred reality of a chosen one's silent commander. Authority is not loud, but it is absolute. When you first become aware of your calling as a chosen one, it can feel like waking up in a room you've never been in before, strange place filled with new rules and unexpected enemies. The isolation hits quickly, not just from people around you, but from the spiritual forces that have been waiting for your arrival. You are thrust into a battleground where your own soul is the prize, and the stakes could not be higher. This is not a battle fought with swords or guns, but with spiritual weapons forged in prayer, obedience, and unwavering faith. Many chosen ones don't realize this immediately. At first, the heaviness feels like a burden placed unfairly on your shoulders. You might question why you were chosen, why you have to walk a path so lonely and fraught with opposition. The truth is that being chosen is not a reward for strength, but a call to strength you didn't know you had. It is a sacred responsibility, an assignment handed down from the divine that requires resilience beyond the natural. One of the harshest realities you face as a chosen one is the lack of human support. People may admire your gifts, your talents, or your accomplishments from afar. But when it comes to standing with you in your most vulnerable moments, the crowd thins rapidly. This isn't because they don't care, but because the presence you carry exposes things about them they're not ready to face. Your very existence shines a light on their doubts, their fears, and their hidden agendas. This makes it difficult for you to find genuine allies. It's important to understand that the spiritual authority you wield comes with an inherent loneliness. Demons and dark forces obey your commands silently, but they also isolate you from the typical sources of comfort. Friends may drift away, family members may misunderstand your vision, and even mentors can become distant as they grapple with their own limitations. This isolation is not a punishment, but a refining process, a way to separate those who are truly aligned with your destiny from those who are merely spectators. In this solitude, you learn the profound truth that your greatest support will come from within and from the divine source that called you. This is where many stumble because we are naturally wired for community and connection. Being a chosen one demands a level of self-reliance that is uncomfortable but necessary. It teaches you to listen deeply to the still, small voice within your internal compass that guides you through storms when external guidance is absent. You also learn the necessity of spiritual boundaries. Not everyone can handle the energy you carry or the mission you are on. Setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out, but protecting your spirit from toxic influences that seek to drain or divert you. It means discerning when to engage and when to withdraw, when to speak and when to stay silent. This skill is crucial because every interaction carries potential spiritual consequences. As you navigate these boundaries, you begin to see the enemy's tactics more clearly. The dark realm is cunning. It knows that if it can't directly overpower you, it can isolate you. Isolation breeds doubt, and doubt opens the door to fear, anxiety, and despair. The enemy will use subtle strategies, whispers of unworthiness, reminders of past failures, temptations to abandon your path. These attacks are not random. They are targeted strikes meant to weaken your resolve. Yet, despite the relentless opposition, there is an unshakable truth that chosen ones carry: the power to command even demons to obey silently. This authority is not earned by might or cleverness, but bestowed through surrender and alignment with divine will. When you embrace this, you move from being a victim of circumstances to a victor in the spiritual realm. Your presence becomes a force field, a shield that protects not only you, but those around you who align themselves with your mission. This power requires daily nurturing. Prayer becomes your lifeline, a direct connection to the source of your authority. It is through prayer that you recalibrate your spirit, receive fresh revelations, and renew your strength. Without this connection, the weight of your calling can become crushing, but with it, you find peace that surpasses understanding, even in the midst of chaos. Another critical aspect of this journey is understanding the nature of your spiritual authority. It is not about domination or control, but stewardship and protection. Demons obey you not because you seek to harm them, but because you represent a higher order that demands obedience. Your authority is a sacred trust to guard what is holy and to dismantle what threatens it. This perspective transforms how you engage with spiritual warfare. It becomes a divine partnership rather than a personal battle. In this partnership, humility is essential. The greatest chosen ones are not those who flaunt their power, but those who carry it with grace and restraint. They know that every victory is ultimately credited to the divine source, not to their own efforts. This humility protects them from pride, which can be a fatal trap for anyone walking in spiritual authority. Pride blinds you to your vulnerabilities and opens the door for the enemy to exploit weaknesses you didn't know you had. As you grow in your role, you will encounter moments of profound testing. These moments are designed to reveal your true character and to solidify your place in the divine plan. You may be called to make sacrifices that seem unbearably, giving up relationships, comfort, or even personal dreams. These sacrifices are not arbitrary. They are the crucible through which your destiny is forged. During these times, it is vital to remember that you are never alone, even when the world feels silent. The divine presence that called you is also the presence that sustains. You, angels, are assigned to protect and guide you, and unseen forces are mobilized on your behalf. Though you may not see them, their work is real and active, providing a spiritual safety net beneath your feet. Moreover, your influence extends far beyond what you can perceive. The battles you fight in secret have ripple effects that touch countless lives. The prayers you pray, the boundaries you set, the battles you endure contribute to a larger spiritual victory that unfolds across time and space. This is a profound source of hope when the path feels dark and lonely. The chosen life also teaches you the value of patience. Unlike worldly success that can come quickly and fade just as fast, spiritual authority is cultivated over time. It requires endurance, consistency, and faithfulness in the small things. Each act of obedience, each moment of faith, builds upon the last, creating a foundation that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Alongside patience, perseverance is your ally. The enemy hopes you will grow weary, that you will give up when the opposition intensifies. But perseverance strengthens your spirit and deepens your reliance on the divine. It turns setbacks into setups for greater breakthroughs and refines your character into one that reflects true spiritual maturity. Community, when it does come, is precious. Though rare, genuine allies who understand the chosen path become your sanctuary. These are not just friends, but spiritual partners who stand with you in prayer, encouragement, and accountability. Finding such community requires discernment and often happens gradually as you learn to recognize those who share your vision and values. It's important to nurture these relationships, because even the strongest chosen one needs support. No one is meant to carry their calling entirely alone. The presence of trusted companions provides balance, reminding you that vulnerability is not weakness, but a gateway to deeper connection and strength. Throughout this journey, your identity as a chosen one will be both your shield and your sword. Knowing who you are in the spiritual realm anchors you when doubts arise. It reminds you that your worth is not measured by worldly standards, but by your alignment with a divine purpose. This identity transcends circumstances and opinions, giving you a firm foundation to stand on no matter the storms you face. In moments of exhaustion or despair, return to this truth. You are marked, chosen, and empowered by a force far greater than any challenge before you. The demons that obey you silently are a testament to your authority, even if it feels invisible to the human eye. Your path is unique, sacred, and essential to the unfolding of a greater plan that you may only glimpse in fragments. Embrace the sacred reality of being a chosen one, with all its challenges and rewards. Let the silence of demons obeying you be a reminder that your authority is real, your mission vital, and your destiny unstoppable. Walk forward with courage, knowing that every step you take resonates in the heavens and shakes the foundations of darkness. The journey of a chosen one is marked by moments that feel almost surreal, times when the world around you seems to blur, and you realize that the battle you fight is not only against visible foes, but against forces that lurk in the unseen. This spiritual dimension, where demons are compelled to obey silently, is both a place of profound power and deep challenge. It's where the true test of your faith, courage, and identity unfolds. One of the most difficult aspects of being a chosen one is the constant tension between your human vulnerability and your spiritual authority. On the surface, you might appear ordinary, someone with fears, doubts, and struggles like everyone else. Yet beneath that surface lies a warrior called to stand firm in a realm that few can even perceive. This dichotomy can create internal conflict. You wrestle with feelings of loneliness and frustration, while simultaneously carrying the weight of divine responsibility, because your authority forces spiritual enemies to obey silently. You quickly learn that much of your warfare is invisible to the outside world. This can be isolating. Others may not understand why you face exhaustion that no physical explanation can account for, or why your spirit sometimes feels battered even when circumstances seem calm. They see only the results or the outward calm, but not the nightly battles that drain your energy or the spiritual assaults that test your resolve. It is in these quiet battles that the reality of your chosen status becomes undeniable. The enemy knows your name and fears your potential. Demons don't openly confront you because they recognize the authority you carry. But their silence is a strategic retreat, biding time for a more subtle attack. They whisper lies to your mind, sow seeds of doubt, and tempt you to stray from your path. These silent battles require vigilance and spiritual discernment. One of the most potent weapons you have in this war is your ability to wield spiritual authority without fear or hesitation. This authority is a sacred trust given to you not for personal gain, but for the advancement of a divine mission. It means you have power over forces that seek to destroy your purpose. But it also means you are held accountable for how you use this power. The balance between wielding authority and remaining humble is a daily struggle. Humility in power is rare and precious. The greatest chosen ones are those who recognize that their strength is not their own, but flows from their connection to the divine. This awareness keeps them grounded and protects them from pride, which is a subtle and dangerous trap. Pride blinds you to your weaknesses and makes you vulnerable to spiritual attack. It is humility that opens the door to grace and divine protection. The path of the chosen one is also a path of sacrifice. It requires giving up comforts, relationships, and sometimes even dreams that don't align with your calling. These sacrifices can feel deeply painful, especially when others don't understand or support your decisions. It's easy to feel misunderstood or abandoned. Yet these sacrifices are what refine your character and prepare you for the greater battles ahead. In this refining process, patience becomes your closest ally. The journey is not quick or easy. Spiritual authority grows like a seed planted in fertile soil. It requires time, care, and perseverance to mature. There will be seasons of waiting, testing, and preparation that seem endless. But each of these seasons is shaping you into the leader you are destined to become. Perseverance is equally vital. The enemy hopes you will give up, that you will grow weary and lose heart. But every trial you endure strengthens your spirit and deepens your faith. Perseverance turns setbacks into opportunities for growth and breakthroughs. It forges a character that reflects true spiritual maturity and readiness. Community, though often scarce, is a powerful resource. Genuine allies who understand the chosen path become sanctuaries of encouragement and accountability. These are not just friends, but spiritual partners who stand with you in prayer and support. Finding such community requires discernment, as not everyone can handle the spiritual intensity you carry. But when you find these rare connections, they provide balance and remind you that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. As you grow in your role, you will learn to set spiritual boundaries. These boundaries protect your spirit from toxic influences and help you maintain focus on your mission. They teach you when to engage and when to withdraw, when to speak and when to remain silent. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out, but about preserving your spiritual integrity. The enemy's tactics become clearer over time. If direct confrontation fails, they resort to isolation. Isolation breeds doubt and fear, which are their most effective weapons against chosen ones. They whisper that you are unworthy, that your efforts are futile, that you are alone in your struggle. Recognizing these lies is crucial to standing firm. Prayer and meditation become your lifeline. They are the channels through which you receive strength, guidance, and peace. Through prayer, you recalibrate your spirit and renew your connection to the divine source of your authority. Without this connection, the burden of your calling can become overwhelming. But with it, you find a peace that surpasses understanding. Even in the midst of chaos, understanding your spiritual authority changes how you view your battles. You are not fighting to dominate, but to steward and protect. Demons obey because you represent a higher order that demands obedience. This shifts your perspective from combativeness to divine partnership. Your authority becomes a force for good, guarding what is holy and dismantling what threatens it. This partnership with the divine requires humility. Those who carry their authority with grace and restraint are the strongest chosen ones. They acknowledge that every victory is due to divine intervention, not their own power. This humility shields them from pride and keeps them open to continued growth. Testing is inevitable. You will face moments that challenge your faith and resolve. You may be called to sacrifice relationships, comfort, or personal ambitions. These tests refine your character and prepare you for your destiny. Remember, you are never alone. The divine presence sustains you, and unseen forces fight on your behalf. Your influence extends beyond what you see. The battles you fight ripple across lives and generations. Your prayers and perseverance contribute to a larger spiritual victory. This is a source of hope when the path is dark. Patience and perseverance are crucial. Spiritual authority grows over time through faithfulness and endurance. Each act of obedience builds a foundation that cannot be shaken. Perseverance turns trials into growth and forges true maturity. Community is precious. Genuine allies provide support and accountability. Vulnerability in community is strength. Set spiritual boundaries to protect your mission. Recognize enemy tactics and resist isolation. Prayer sustains you. Your authority is stewardship, not domination. Humility protects you from pride. Testing refines you. You are never alone. Your battles have far-reaching impact. Patience and perseverance build your foundation. Community and boundaries sustain you. Prayer connects you. Embrace your calling. With courage, your authority over silent demons is real. Your mission is vital. Your destiny unstoppable. Walk forward with faith, knowing every step resonates in heaven and shakes darkness. The life of a chosen one is like walking through a realm where the seen and unseen collide, where every step you take echoes in dimensions most people never even glimpse. By now, you've come to understand that the spiritual authority you wield is both a blessing and a burden, powerful yet isolating, sacred yet demanding. As you continue on this path, one of the hardest truths you face is that this authority brings a level of responsibility few can comprehend, and it requires a relentless commitment to your calling that will stretch you beyond what you imagined possible. In the silence where demons are forced to obey, you learn to listen, to hear the subtle movements of the spiritual battlefield around you. It is a quiet war waged in the depths of your soul and the unseen corners of the world. Your victories are often invisible to others, but they are profound. Each time you resist temptation, each moment you choose faith over fear, you push back darkness in ways that ripple far beyond your awareness. Yet with this authority comes a loneliness that cuts deep. It's not simply the loneliness of physical solitude, but the spiritual isolation that comes from knowing you walk a path few can understand. Friends and family might admire your strength or label you gifted, but they rarely grasp the cost of carrying such power. They see the surface, the calm in your eyes, the confidence in your voice, but they don't see the nights of prayer when tears fall quietly, the moments of doubt that grip your heart, or the weight of knowing your battles will never fully be understood. This loneliness can be suffocating. The enemy knows this, and it becomes one of their primary weapons against you. Isolation breeds vulnerability. When you feel alone, the whispers of the enemy grow louder. They tell you that you are forgotten, that no one cares, that your sacrifices are meaningless. These lies can shake even the strongest spirit if left unchecked. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as a chosen one is to cultivate a deep well of resilience. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about growing through it, learning from it, and emerging stronger on the other side. It is the quiet strength that allows you to stand when the world tries to knock you down, to keep moving, when every fiber of your being screams to quit. Building resilience starts with embracing your full humanity. You are not a superhuman warrior impervious to pain or doubt. You are a soul on fire with purpose, navigating a harsh reality that demands everything from you. Acknowledge your fears and weaknesses. They are part of your story, but do not let them define you. Instead, let your faith in your divine calling and your inner strength carry you forward. Spiritual disciplines become the backbone of your resilience. Prayer is not just a ritual, but a lifeline, a direct connection to the source of your power. Meditation and contemplation allow you to center yourself, to find calm in the storm. Regular fasting, solitude, and reflection sharpen your spirit and prepare you for the battles ahead. These practices are not optional extras. They are essential to maintaining the authority you carry. Another vital aspect is discernment. In a world filled with noise and distractions, learning to hear the still small voice of guidance is crucial. Discernment helps you identify the subtle tactics of the enemy, the lies disguised as truth, and the paths that lead away from your destiny. It teaches you when to act boldly and when to wait patiently. Without discernment, your authority can become erratic, misdirected, or even harmful. You will also discover that part of your calling is to develop compassion and humility. Power without compassion is destructive. It breeds pride in isolation. Humility grounds you in the reality that your authority is a gift, not a right. It keeps your heart soft and your spirit open, allowing grace to flow through you rather than arrogance. Compassion extends beyond yourself to others who are struggling in their own battles, even as you face spiritual forces aligned against you. You are called to be a beacon of hope and support to those around you. Your example, your prayers, your willingness to listen and carry others' burdens can open doors to healing and breakthrough that might otherwise remain closed. This service to others is a key part of why you were chosen. The power you wield is not meant for personal glory or control, but to uplift, protect, and restore. When you embrace this truth, your authority takes on a new dimension, transforming from a weapon of war into a tool of healing. Yet, this service can also bring its own trials. People may misunderstand your motives, reject your help, or even turn against you. The pressure to always be strong and unwavering can wear you down. You might feel that your compassion is a weakness. That vulnerability opens you to attack. But it is precisely this openness that makes you strong. Vulnerability is the gateway to authentic connection and true spiritual power as the chosen one. You also come to understand the importance of boundaries. Your mission is vast, but your energy is limited. Setting boundaries protects you from burnout and preserves the integrity of your calling. It means learning to say no to distractions, toxic relationships, and activities that drain your spirit. It means carving out sacred time for rest, renewal, and spiritual nourishment. Rest is not a luxury, but a necessity. The enemy will try to convince you that you must always be on guard, always working, always fighting. But even warriors need to lay down their swords and heal their wounds. Without rest, your authority weakens, your discernment dulls, and your resilience fades. Rest replenishes your soul and renews your strength. Alongside rest, accountability is vital. Finding trusted mentors or spiritual partners who understand your journey provides a safe space to share your struggles. Receive guidance and stay grounded. Accountability helps you avoid pitfalls like pride, isolation, and burnout. It reminds you that though your path is unique, you are not meant to walk it alone. Your journey also reveals the profound truth that the greatest battles you face are often within yourself. The enemy's most cunning attacks target your heart, your mind, and your spirit. Doubt, fear, anger, and discouragement are tools used to break your will and derail your mission. Recognizing these internal struggles is key to overcoming them. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of your purpose and the divine calling on your life. When fear threatens to paralyze you, lean into faith and courage. When anger flares, seek peace and forgiveness. When discouragement settles, remember that every trial is a step toward your destiny. The silence of the demons obeying you is not an absence of battle, but a signal of the spiritual authority you possess. This authority demands respect even from the forces of darkness because it is rooted in divine power. It is a reminder that your struggles are not in vain and that you are part of a larger cosmic plan. You are called to rise above the challenges, to walk boldly with the confidence that comes from knowing you are chosen, equipped, and empowered. The path is not easy, but it is sacred. Every sacrifice, every moment of struggle, every act of faith is forging a legacy that will echo beyond your lifetime. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Though the enemy tries to isolate you, there is a divine army standing with you, unseen but powerful. Angels, spirits, and a host of heavenly forces move on your behalf, strengthening your authority and fighting your battles. In the moments when you feel weakest, call on this spiritual support. Open your heart to the divine presence that sustains you. Trust in the authority you have been given. Walk forward with courage, knowing that every step is a victory and every battle won is a testament to your faith. The road ahead will test you, but it will also elevate you. Your authority over silent demons is not just a gifted, is a sacred trust. Carry it with humility, compassion, and unwavering faith. Your destiny is greater than you can imagine, and the impact of your journey will transform lives and generations. Hold fast to your calling. Keep your eyes on the divine purpose before you. The silence of obedience from the spiritual realm is a powerful affirmation. You are chosen, you are strong, and you are unstoppable. You've come a long way in this journey, but the truth is, the path of a chosen one is never truly complete. It is a lifelong calling that evolves with every challenge, every victory, and every moment of surrender. By now, you understand that your authority over the spiritual realm, the way demons are forced to obey you, silently is both a monumental gift and a relentless responsibility. It shapes who you are and what you must become. The harsh reality is this: you were never meant to walk this path with comfort or ease. The divine hand that chose you also prepared the terrain to test your resolve, sharpen your spirit, and mold your character. The loneliness, the battles, the silent wars waged inside your soul, of these are part of the sacred initiation into a higher level of existence. But here's the most crucial truth. Being a chosen one without support is not a curse, it is a sacred trial designed to reveal your true strength. when no one else can see the weight you carry, when the world misunderstands your mission, and when your spirit feels stretched to the breaking point. That is the moment your divine authority rises to its fullest power. Demons obey silently because they recognize the authority that flows through you, even when your human mind is clouded by doubt or fear. The spiritual realm acknowledges your role in the cosmic battle between light and darkness. Your struggles are battles fought not just for yourself, but for the unseen realms that influence this world. This means that every time you choose faith over fear, every time you stand firm against temptation, every time you act in love despite pain, you are shifting the balance of power in ways beyond human comprehension. Your spiritual authority is a weapon, a shield, and a light often invisible, but undeniably powerful. Yet this authority must be wielded with wisdom. Power without wisdom can become a destructive force. This is why the journey of a chosen one is as much about inner transformation as it is about external battles. Your heart, your mind, and your soul are the most important battlegrounds to grow. In wisdom, you must embrace humility. Understand that you do not hold this power because of your own merit alone, but because you were chosen and prepared by a higher force. Humility keeps your spirit open to guidance and prevents pride, which can blind you to danger and lead to downfall. You must also cultivate patience. The unfolding of your destiny often takes longer than your human mind desires. The spiritual process works on its own timeline, one shaped by divine perfection, not human urgency. When you become impatient, you risk making hasty decisions or losing sight of the bigger picture. Patience allows you to endure waiting periods, times of silence, and moments when progress seems invisible. It trains you to trust the process and maintain faith that every season of your life has a purpose. Another essential quality to nurture is discernment. The spiritual battlefield is filled with deception and half-truths. You will encounter false prophets, misleading voices, and inner confusion. Discernment acts like a spiritual radar, helping you distinguish between what aligns with your calling and what leads you astray. Discernment grows through constant prayer, meditation, and study of sacred wisdom. It sharpens your ability to hear the subtle promptings of your inner voice and the guidance of divine messengers. Without it, your authority can be undermined by deception or misused in ways that harm yourself or others as you move forward. Remember that your authority is not meant to isolate you forever. Although the chosen path can feel lonely, part of your mission is to build a community, a spiritual family that supports, encourages, and strengthens you. Seek out others who walk a similar path or who understand the weight of spiritual responsibility. These connections will not always be easy, but they are vital for your growth and endurance. When you find your tribe, cherish it. Share your burdens and your victories. Learn from one another. Accountability partners, mentors, and trusted friends can offer insight, correction, and encouragement when your spirit falters. At the same time, protect your energy fiercely. Not everyone is meant to be in your inner circle. The spiritual realm is full of both light and darkness, and not all people come with pure intentions. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-respect and a necessary measure to preserve your spiritual authority. Guard your heart against toxic relationships, energy drainers, and negative influences. Your mission requires clarity and strength, and you cannot afford distractions that weaken your resolve. Another hard truth of the chosen life is that you will face attacks on your character, reputation, and faith because of your spiritual authority. The enemy will try to discredit you, isolate you, and shake your confidence. These attacks can come through gossip, betrayal, or sudden loss. They are designed to make you question your worth and your calling. In these moments, remind yourself of who you are beyond the accusations or setbacks. Your identity is rooted in divine purpose, not human approval. Stand firm in your truth and remember that the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. To survive and thrive as a chosen one, you must also learn the art of spiritual warfare. This goes beyond simply commanding demons to obey silently. It involves understanding the strategies of the enemy, recognizing spiritual strongholds, and engaging in prayer and action that dismantle the forces working against you. Spiritual warfare is not about aggression or domination, but about reclaiming ground for the light, protecting your soul, and advancing your mission. Equip yourself with knowledge, prayer, and faith armor daily. Be vigilant, for the enemy's tactics are often subtle and persistent. Despite all the challenges, one of the most inspiring realities is that your authority over demons and darkness is a sign of your alignment with the divine. You are not an accident or a victim of circumstance. You are a key player in a grand cosmic story, a story of redemption, light, and ultimate victory. This realization should fill you with hope and courage. Your struggles are not meaningless. Your battles are not random. Your loneliness is not permanent. You were chosen to walk this path precisely because you have the strength, the heart, and the spirit to fulfill it. Now, more than ever, you must rise to your calling. Embrace your authority with both reverence and confidence. Use your power not for selfish gain, but to bring light to dark places, healing to broken hearts, and freedom to those oppressed by unseen forces. Your journey will be difficult, but it is also magnificent. The legacy you build will outlast your lifetime. The spiritual impact you make will echo through generations.